Welcome to the World Movers Podcast. I am your host, DJ Angelfire, and I am joined by my two co-hosts, Noah, aka 51st Citizen, as well as Kwaku Amp, and we are interviewing a return guest, Juan. He has a brand new music video out. I strongly recommend our listeners to go and check out his video. With that, Juan, would you like to kind of tell us what's been going on and fill us in on what we've missed since our last conversation on this podcast?
So I've been making music nonstop, and I've been trying to promote this music video, and I'm almost done doing the album cover, and then I'll probably release the whole project because the project is ready to go. It's mastered, and I'm just gonna work with a photographer tomorrow. We're gonna work things out, and then after the photo, I'm just gonna post it.
What was like the cinematographic, I can't speak, like tropes you were trying to use in that video?
Well, I want the video to be very dramatic and very serious, which is not a personality I have, so which is very funny. It was actually very hard to film the video because it was just like we were just giggling the whole time because how serious I was. But I wanted to be very emotional and very down to earth almost in a weird way. And I wanted to be very cliche and everything is in slow motion. Because it's about like how overwhelming life is, and how sometimes romance can take over life, and vice versa. So,
is there a reason why you picked to film it at night?
The aesthetic of that time, because I feel like during the day it would have never got the emotion I wanted it to have. Because Miami's very bright, super bright. The camera, it would have been too much. So I definitely wanted it to be more serious and more of a nighttime vibes for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like around sunset, like that's also a very like aesthetic. You ever feel like sometimes you're just doing something like mundane, and all of a sudden it hits you like, oh yeah, this is an aesthetic right now, and about the place where you're at or just like the mood. You ever had that?
Yeah, 100%. Especially since I've lived in Miami, everything is like super like neon colors, and so like every day I leave to go to like a musician's house or something. On the way there, it's actually very beautiful, and it's always as aesthetic, to be honest. As cliche as it sounds.
Yeah, it's like you wish you had like a camera.
It felt like the music video and the song were kind of meant for each other, and I wondered if you had this music video in mind as you were creating the song, or maybe even before you made the song, or if it came afterwards.
No, 100%. It was while I was making it. When I played those chords, and once I started recording the vocals, it like everything was like, all right, I already know what I'm gonna do for the music video. Like everything was planned within like 45 minutes, like of recording vocals. So I was very like determined to see how to explain it to the photographer what I was going to do, and etc. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of hard to explain what you have in your head. So, but I really, he was really helpful, and he's such a professional. It's crazy. It's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean?
Who's the photographer? Should you shout him out? Can we give a quick shout out?
Yeah, his name is Mike Cloud, like Cloud, and his name is Claudio. Very nice dude from Miami. He's filmed numerous of artists down here in Miami, so someone actually recommended me to him. The artist's name is Triangles, and he's a very popular local artist down here. And he was like, yeah, dude, you should make a music video with this guy. And I was like, all right, I will. Hit him up literally like 2 days later. Drove to him, and we talked for like maybe 3 to 4 weeks, and then I started to buy clothes for the album. I mean, not the album, the video, and it was very, very intense and very I don't know, like very extreme at one point, because we were on time with everything, and
nice.
Like the first shot of the video is like, that was like 4 a.m. I was exhausted.
Wow.
You could see it, but yeah, that was like a very long. We were shooting since like 10 in the morning to like 4. So yeah, it was intense, but it was fun.
Wow.
Wow.
What do you think is a major change from this album, from your last release, would you say? What's the big difference that listeners are going to hear?
So what I think they're gonna hear is it's gonna be more vocal driven. So a lot more vocals. It's gonna be very very emotional. It's gonna be very like upbeat and emotional,
Nice.
and it's definitely not gonna be because like Sugar Milk. The difference between this one and Sugar Milk is Sugar Milk was like definitely like 80s inspired and vaporwave inspired for sure. And you could tell off the bat of how the instruments were like laid out and everything, and very synth driven. But I feel like for this album, it was a lot more simpler
Yes.
and a lot more easier to record because less synths and more vocal stuff going on, and more strings, actual harps. There's guitars. I could say it's more R&B for sure.
Nice.
The other project was very fun and upbeat, but I feel like this one's gonna be my like. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. It's just like, it's hard to explain, to be honest. It's just going to be very serious and emotional, but still fun. There's a lot of upbeat songs. You're going to be like, wow, this is this is funny.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting what you mentioned earlier about, doing a very serious project as an artist and as a person who tends not to do that sort of thing and tends to have more of a, how do I put this? Someone who has an appreciation of just like humor and stuff, and how it can be tricky it feels vulnerable to be like, okay, now I am going to do something that is, serious in my own words. Was there something that maybe, was a catalyst for that decision, or was this just sort of, you feel like you're maturing as an artist perhaps, or would you see it in different terms?
I definitely feel like I'm maturing for sure, just the way I'm recording music now, and have a lot more equipment now. Like there's a lot more things in this room, like in the studio. So I feel like the reason why I want it to be like a big change is because I want it to feel extremely uncomfortable, and I don't like feeling comfortable. So every time I'll make a project or a song, I want it to be like no other. Like I've never made this song in my life or nothing similar. So I really pushed myself to make something so awkward, and for me, like I would have never thought of 5 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That a lot. Like, I think that as an artist, you always are thinking about the next release. It's like once you get on stable ground with one idea, it's like, okay. And I always said it's kind of, maybe a bit of a cliche, corporate sounding inspiration, but it's like, let today's milestone be tomorrow's starting point. So it's like, one of the biggest problems I see nowadays, and I may have talked about this before, but artists are really afraid to accept the potential of like failure, where it's like, oh, I gotta make sure this vocal is just right, or I gotta make sure the mix is just right. And it's like, are we getting to this point where we're just like so perfectionist that we don't leave any room for like growth? And even though I think what you've put out there is definitely good, I think that sometimes people may have that attitude you're talking about, but they get this sort of analysis paralysis where it's like, oh, I'm not really sure I should do that. It might alienate my listeners, or, it may...
Yeah, I believe that 100%. I just truly believe that, like, you can't grow if you don't change. So I feel like a lot of people, and I understand the whole perfectionist thing because that's such a, I feel like everybody goes through that, especially producers and people who make their own music at home and stuff. It's because you're by yourself. You don't know, you don't have any other ears. It's just your ears, you know what I mean? So you don't know what's perfect. You're just making things, and you're always questioning yourself because you're like, oh my God, what leaves this room is going to be maybe the worst thing ever, the
Yeah.
best thing ever. So it's only two options, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Noah, you were telling me about how you did some songs for somebody, and they just wanted them to be like real simple loops, and you talked about like how in some ways that was kind of freeing because you didn't have to worry about like, oh, I gotta have a chorus, I have a bridge here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like sometimes you just get stuck. I think that's the beautiful thing about collaboration, and you can look at a way another person approaches a problem and realize that like something that you've taken as an unconscious rule, like every song must have something or it must not have something, that there are plenty of traditions that break that and they make great music. And so I think that's a cool thing.
Maybe a little bit off topic, but that's probably why I like house music and like 90s techno, because there's no rules. So you're just listening to sounds and
Yeah.
bleeps and bloops and stuff, and like it's like sounds great. Like you don't even know what you're really listening to, but it sounds amazing. You know what I mean?
Sometimes people are so into like, oh, I gotta have this synth, I gotta have this, whatever, but it's like a lot of it comes down to just refining things as you go along, especially like samples too, like building up your sample library, building up your, musical and production knowledge, all of that stuff. It's kind of a gradual process, and we want everything instantaneously, but sometimes that's not always most satisfying.
Yeah, that's very, very, very true. I've noticed that, and I realized that the extremely hard way.
Well, so I guess I have to ask, because I know you've gotten some new equipment, and I'm just going to put it out there, like, when this whole pandemic started about a year ago, I definitely feel like in some ways that made me more vulnerable to impulse buying, and I don't know if maybe that was true for you, or...
Yeah, to be honest, I bought like a bunch of plugins. Like I bought this Korg Trident plugin like emulator thing, and it was like $200.
I love that.
And I bought like a reverb, a hollow reverb. It was like $50. Yeah, I was just buying like little plugins here and there, and then I bought a bunch of mics for the drum set because I needed mics. I bought a sustain pedal for the keyboard, dude. There's like a whole list. I can go all day. But like the dumbest purchase I probably got was like I got a massage gun for the studio. So whenever I stand up and start stretching because I've been sitting for like 4 or 5 hours, I have a massage gun and
oh yeah,
I use it.
Yeah, Kwaku, don't you have something similar? It's like a little like electric zapper or something on your muscles.
Yeah, it's like a muscle laser pen or whatever. Not necessarily like a massage gun, but I definitely understand what you're going through, Juan.
Yeah, I feel like it's not a terrible investment. It's a very good one, but it's something I didn't really need, but it's fucking amazing. It's very cool.
Those things come in handy. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much do they run on average?
Well, I got mines for it was on sale. I got it for $30, but they're usually like $50.
Juan, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So you're familiar with like I guess club music, and you're in Florida, right? Or
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're familiar with like the club music there, right? Like types of music they would play. I have a friend who used to live in New Jersey, but now they moved to Florida. And they're telling me that, Jersey Club is being played a lot in Florida. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Jersey Club.
Yeah, I know what that is. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, could you attest to that? Is that actually something that's going on?
Yeah. It's like, that's so funny that you asked me that. Yeah, I was actually listening to that on the radio yesterday. And I was surprised. I was like, wow, they're bringing it back again. Because that was like a thing that happened like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you know what I mean? So, but Jersey music like that, it's like very bass driven. So I'm not really surprised that it's coming back to Miami, because Miami is the music here is very bass driven. So
do you see any sort of like, I don't know, some sort of Miami or other Florida based music based genres like mingling with, Jersey sound?
To be honest, yeah, I've seen a lot of DJs play that music live. Like, they're doing it like, improvising, and it sounds really good. And I feel like it goes hand in hand because usually that they have like R&B samples from like the 90s or early 2000s, and it's very fast and upbeat, you know, and it's like that's what Miami is. So I'm not really surprised at all. But yes, I can confirm 100% they are still playing that down here, and it's gonna be, I guess, a new thing again.
Yeah, that's amazing.
This guy me and Kwaku follow, Shibo, and he does these absolutely crazy dance routines to Jersey club music. Definitely worth checking out his stuff.
He's actually a New Jersey legend. So the college that I go to, Rutgers, New Brunswick, you know, that's where DJ Academics went to college too, by the way. You can see some of his crazy videos on his old YouTube channel of when he went to that college.
That's funny.
This guy, you know, he walks around, you know, he does the classic Jersey club dances, and I guess the geese walk that you'd see around on campus. He like imitates a geese, sorry, all that stuff. So he's pretty funny, you know. I like Shibo.
So you know, me and Kwaku recently discovered that in prehistoric New Jersey, there used to be these giant ground sloths. So we're really hoping that there's maybe a chance that there's a few of them just waiting to thaw out, and they can head back to Jersey, and we can see some 12-foot tall, 6,000-pound ground sloths getting down to Jersey club music.
That's hilarious. That's very funny. Oh my god. I just thought about it right now.
Yeah, there's literally, where Kwaku lives, they literally found a fossil from one of those things, so very much a local legend.
Man, the megafauna got done so dirty. Rest in peace.
Yeah, we gotta bring him back, bro. Like, everybody talks about dinosaurs, but it's like, what about these guys, man? I mean, not only that, it's worth noting that they gave us avocados, so, I mean, if you like avocados, you definitely owe a ground sloth some major props.
That's kind of cool.
Job. I didn't know were they just responsible for like the spread of avocados?
Oh, yeah.
I felt like you left us with a cliffhanger. I'm very curious now.
They were prolific contributors, I'll just put it that way.
I see.
Anyway, returning to our main topic at hand, Juan, going forward into the future with your album and such, are you hoping to kind of do more music videos like this? Are we going to see kind of more of the story unfold in regards to this music video? Because, I mean, like Noah said, it seems pretty clear, like it's setting up to some sort of narrative. So I'm just curious if we'll see sort of an expansion of that.
So the next music video that I have planned and in the works soon is going to be from, I think, track 3 of the project. So this one is it's not going to be anything connected with the song Slow Motion, but it's definitely going to be a part of the story, and it's going to say a lot about the project. I can't say too much. It's definitely more of a happier side, very danceable, and it's like almost like a homage to like early, I guess 2000s house music, I guess.
Nice.
So it's very cool.
Speaking of early 2000s, have you listened to like any garage music from like the late 90s?
Yeah, I just found out, well, like not found out, but like started listening to a lot of like drum and bass and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So I've been downloading a lot of like aim and break drum loops for like the past 3 days, and just been like making weird, I don't even know, tracks, and I'm making one right now, and it's very fun making it because you can make these songs for like 10-20 minutes and make a whole like little project about it. So I was thinking about making like a side project, like more electronic driven bass. Like I would change my name and everything and be like an alias or something.
There's this one artist from the late 90s, Ronnie Size, and he has this classic drum and bass track called Brown Paper Bag, and it's definitely not just for the music, but I would definitely encourage you to watch it for the video as well, because it's definitely got like all the late 90s tropes in play.
Perfect. Hell yeah.
So I guess to get back to an earlier point, when this whole like pandemic started, last year, how did that like affect you as an artist, and like now as we seem to be somewhat coming out of it, what's kind of your attitude going forward? Because I definitely see, obviously, like live music is returning in a lot of places.
So when the pandemic hit, it was actually a blessing and a curse at the same time, because for long periods of time I didn't have any money. I was just like, what's going on, And then Florida finally did the unemployment thing. And so throughout the whole 2020, I was literally mixing the whole album, like day in, day. Like it was really intense. And then I was doing a lot of exercise. I was running, I was jogging, I was going to the beach, I was doing a bunch of stuff like that. But I was mostly inside the house for sure. I didn't really go outside that much. Whenever I did, I'd either go to the beach or just run for a little bit and run back to. It was really cool because I didn't have to deal with like customers, and like just work. But now since it's starting to like come back, I do want to start doing live music and stuff with the whole project and the album and stuff. Which is cool because now I'm getting a lot more connections, and a lot of people are growing. I have a lot of fans now. Like a lot of people that I know are like really cool. I'm really happy what's happening right now. I mean, not in Miami specifically, because people are like not wearing masks anymore. They don't it's like nothing happened, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm glad that like music is starting to like come back how it used to be. That's probably like the only positive.
I'm excited to see the next music video, you come up with.
Yeah.
It's gonna be it's gonna be funny. It's definitely gonna be more fun, for sure. And I believe that when I recorded this specific song, I was actually I was in a happy mood. I remember dancing in the studios. It was cool.
Always a good sign with a track, I think.
Yeah, that's 100% true. I mean, a lot of the songs here were danceable.
Is it TikTokable?
I think so. I'm not sure. I hope so. TikTok is blowing up. At the time, I wasn't really thinking about TikTok, but now it's like TikTok is blowing up. It's insane.
Just as a side, just as a side, are you on TikTok by any chance?
I am. Yeah, I am.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
What's your TikTok,
I just put it's the same thing as my Instagram. I just put the same, I just put the music video up there, but I don't really go on there that much because it's kind of crazy over there.
You never know what you're gonna get on TikTok, bro.
Yeah, it's super intense, to be honest.
I think it does seem to be a new frontier in regards to marketing. I don't know, because I'm never on there. I don't know what how that system works. I just know with Instagram, it seems to be, I don't know if you ever use Tumblr, but the thing I liked about Tumblr was it was really easy for people to reach your work, where on Instagram it seems a lot more closed off in that kind of a way.
That's true.
You have to really, it's just not common for pages to share stuff. When you see something in your comments saying, oh yeah, share it to this page, it's a bot. We're the only people on Instagram who do that. But other sites like Tumblr, that's totally normal etiquette. And it kind of sucks from a self-promotion standpoint that, Instagram, where it seems like everybody just kind of is now, doesn't have a better sharing feature, which I know they'll say, oh, it will get abused, but it's I'm pretty sure the platform is being abused left, right, and center anyhow. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like nowadays all these platforms are starting to converge to I don't know, the same service, because now you have the Instagram Reels trying to compete with TikTok, and YouTube's doing the same thing with their shorts. And I think Twitter has stories now, so it's everyone's trying to provide a similar service to the point where, eventually they're just doing the same thing.
Mm.
Yeah. And it's it's so counterintuitive because Isn't the whole reason you join these sites for like certain features? Like if they're all going to be the same,
Yeah,
like what's even the point?
yeah. The weird short video blitz is definitely something that I think is interesting, and I kind of want to cash in on it as much as possible. But I also hope it's not forever. I hope it's a storm that's going to pass. I don't know. There's some things about it that also just seem to really suck, like especially like political ones, because like no matter what side you're coming from or whatever, you have to like water your point down so hard to condense it into like a 20-second video, and it just like makes the discourse really like, I mean, toxic, I guess is one thing you could call it, but also just like annoying.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's really odd.
So yeah, I mean, I guess we kind of discussed a lot of the things on, coming up for you and on your new track. Has there been like, I know you've mentioned genres you've listened to, but has there been certain artists that you were listening to around the time of you working on the album that you feel, I don't know, may have subconsciously influenced you? I don't know if you want to share that or not.
Yeah, so I've been listening to a lot of female R&B artists from like, the like late 80s and early 90s, even the late 90s. I've been listening to a lot of Janet Jackson, to be honest. Like she's beautiful. And Mariah Carey, of course, and stuff like that, The production for those women is on another level, which was incredible. I don't know. I just fell upon that for some reason. I don't even know how. I just ended up listening to that, and I just fell into like a wormhole of like a bunch of their music. And coincidentally, I have a lot of her stuff on vinyl, so I was just like listening to a lot of stuff like that. And it's very soothing driving too, because I drive a lot. Yeah, every time I'm driving, I listen to stuff like that, or just like house music a lot. I listen to a lot of house music during the day, and at night I listen to a lot of R&B. Side note, Kuwako, do you still have that song we made together?
Yep, I do. Upload it.
Oh, okay, cool. I ran upon it today, and I was like, wow, this is beautiful. I made that song in like 45 minutes, by the way. I was like, oh, that's all.
Yeah, you added like a lot of like atmosphere and like all these synths to it. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm glad you still have it. That's cool.
Oh, this was dropped last year. This was during the pandemic, right, Juan?
Yeah, this was during the pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember because I remember I was in the studio, and you sent me this, and I was like, hell yeah! Literally, I went to like I was going in on the song, and I just sent it back to you in like I think it was like 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was really quick.
Wow. Damn, bro. Meanwhile, I'm sitting on like 2 collabs where I just get like stuck and don't know what I'm doing.
Literally, if you send me anything, I can send you back a whole song in like an hour. Like when people send me chords, I can literally work around the chords, and I work very fast when it comes to stuff like that.
I just want to say this, after trying to record vocals myself and just come up with lyrics in general, I have an appreciation for anyone who's able to do it. Like,
yeah,
it is some difficult stuff, and listening to your music, Juan, like you are where I want to be, So
thank you, man. I respect that. Yeah, it's a lot of confidence because like it almost feels like I'm 2 different people because when you're in the studio and you're creating something. Mm-hmm. It's almost like you're not yourself. It's like you're a different person for like 4 hours, and then when you go back to reality, you're like, all right. It's so weird, and I feel like I try to tell that to everybody. I feel like sometimes I'm always like I'm 2 people all the time because then it like kicks back to my senses. It's almost like the Disney movie Soul, how he goes into this weird like dimension, and it feels like that. Great movie, by the way. You guys need to watch it.
I was about to ask.
Check it out. Yeah.
Fucking beautiful movie. It's so good, dude. So good. Like since you guys are musicians and artists, like you guys really need to check that out. Even though it's a Disney movie, it's almost like an adult movie. Like it doesn't feel like Disney at all. It's insane. At one point, I was questioning myself. I'm like, am I even Juan? Am I even a person? Like it really does go down to that because they break down all the dimensions of time and like I don't even know. I can't even explain it. It's so crazy. I love that.
I'm definitely gonna have to check that out then. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very intense.
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard another podcast we did with Howard Johnson. That was with Kwaku and Trex. I'm not sure if Noah was in on that too. I think, yeah, it was just Kwaku, Trex, and me. And he was talking about how sometimes he would just come in the studio and that first, like the first take he did, and it's just like sometimes you just have to kind of give your soul and sort of let that speak for itself, because it's like you can overthink something like so much and then just like get it wrong. And I thought that was very inspiring. In general, that episode, if you ever give it a listen, it's really great, very inspiring.
Yeah, I definitely will. I'm glad that Gooey's going through a phase or a time where he's noticing that he's appreciating more vocals and music in a different angle now, because a lot of people don't go through that. So I'm really glad that you're appreciating music in a completely different, aspect,
But you have to understand, there's two people here, right? So Goey is Kwaku's alter ego. So, he's still kind of filling out how that's going to work out. Because for a while you were Kwaku Amp, and then now you're Goey. But I'm not sure if that's going to continue or we're going to see like other side projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to see what Goey's going to do. Maybe, Goey's going to work with the other personalities. Who knows?
Yeah, everybody has different personalities, which is cool. So.
All right. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today, and looking forward to your album. You've definitely piqued my interest, and already the music video kind of clued me in. Okay, we're gonna get something pretty cool from Juan soon. So, looking forward to that. Is there anything else that you would like to promote? Anybody else you'd like to promote? Any sort of shout outs.
Definitely shout out to Mike Claudio, the guy who directed the video. My friend James, he helped me throughout this whole process of just like, I'll send him like MP3s of the songs and he'll give me thumbs up. He's a really cool guy. And a local artist down here named First World. He's really cool. He's like a vaporwave kind of indie pop artist. Very, very popular guy down here. Yeah, and I think that's it for now. My head is all over the place right now, but yeah, those are probably the big names I can name right now.
Yeah, but yeah, he's got some really cool stuff there. So, okay, so I will wrap this up, and I just want to say thank you for coming on. I know we had some scheduling difficulties, but I'm glad that you were able to make it out and that we were able to do this episode.
No problem, man. I'm actually very excited. So what's going to happen next?
Yeah. Because of everything going on right now, I'm going to see... We have a pretty busy week this week, but I will try and get this up as soon as possible. Is there like a date for this new album yet, or is that like still kind of up in the air?
I'm trying to shoot for late July.
Okay.
Maybe early August. That's probably between those two times.
Okay, so that gives us some time. Not that I want to sit on this too long, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, man. Well, that does it for us. We look forward to you tuning in next episode. Thank you.